No mistake, criminals will commit crime. People will kill people, and not all things are preventable. But the police department, the local law enforcement agencies, and the DA's office will do our part to ensure that our community is safe.
Newly appointed District Attorney William Kendall says Houston County can expect to see more officers patrolling the streets and a crackdown on gangs. That says the city of Warner Robins responds to a spree of shootings over the past week. Today, DA Kendall released new details during a news conference, saying all shootings this week have been traced back to gangs. Ashlyn Webb has more in our top story at 11.
Yes, this week alone, at least 7 shootings, and in the span of just 48 hours, 3 people dead. Houston County DA Kendall says his office determined each of these cases had some sort of criminal street gang nexus or connection.
I think people need to be aware and know that they do exist, and they are in our community.
DA Kendall says in each homicide his office has investigated this week, both parties, the victim and possible shooter, are known gang members. But he says his office will not release which gangs.
I don't want to provide fuel for any kind of outbreak in the community.
And he says 2 of the deadly shootings are believed to be gang motivated. Those include the shooting at the Crew Lounge that killed 24-year-old Shamar Mitchell of Warner Robins, and the one on Thomas Boulevard that killed Reason Northside High graduate and football player Jontel Williams. But whether this series of homicides in Warner Robins means an uptick in gang activity, DA Kendall says
it's hard to know what previous was an armed robbery associated with a gang member or a murder or homicide associated with a gang member. I don't have that data because there was a time where those charges weren't being pursued under previous administration.
He says his office is trying to change that with a newly formed gang task force created at the beginning of this year. They're collecting data about which gangs are prominent in the area and what type of gang activity is happening within county lines. But the challenge is building intel on the new gangs showing up on the streets.
There was a time where it was Crips and Bloods and some of the big names in gangs. We don't see that much anymore. What we actually see is a bunch of hybrid gangs, some lower level, local, created gangs.
DA Kendall says it's not going to be up to law enforcement alone to help put an end to gang activity. He says you can help protect yourself and your neighbors by taking your gun out of your car, and when you're home, keeping your gun stowed away and your doors locked. Back to you at the desk.
Police Chief John Wagner reports 7 homicides in the city so far this year. The highest they've seen in recent years was 9, and that was in 2018. The chief says, though 3 of the homicides this year are believed to have a gang connection, the other 4 are believed to be family violence. All were isolated incidents.